Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a simple door system. Let's get started. First thing we're going to want to do is go to our content drawer and we will right click and we're going to create a new blueprint for our door. So we'll just go to blueprint class, and we want actor, and we'll just name that BP underscore door. We're going to open this up. We're going to go over here to our components tab and we're going to add a static mesh. And we're just going to name that door. Now for this tutorial, you will need the starter content pack. It will have the door and the door frame that you need to complete this tutorial. Unless you have your own static door mesh, that's fine too. Come over here to static mesh. Hit our drop down, just type in door. And this first one here will be our static mesh for our door. So we'll just select that. Then we're gonna want to make sure we click off of that. We're gonna add another component, another static mesh, and this one is gonna be the door frame. Again, we'll come over to our static mesh drop down in our details panel and type in door again, and you'll see your door frame right here. We'll just select that. Now we will need to adjust this to line it up. It doesn't have to be exact. So I'm just going to drag this over, and that's good for the tutorial. All right, and then we want to go to our we need to open up our content drawer. Make sure you're selecting all your content so you can find it. Unless you know exactly where it is, just type in door. And I'll look for the static mesh for the door. I'll just click on that to open it up. By default, they don't have a collision. So we want to come up here to collision and just select box simplified collision. And that'll add a collision box around it. I don't know why I added 2 there, so we'll take one off by pressing Ctrl Z, and there we go. So now we can save that and exit out of it. Back in our door blueprint, let's go up here to self in our components panel. Click on that, come to your details panel and type in tag. And here we'll just add a tag there, and we will type in door. And I'll go ahead and save that. Compile and save that. Now we'll go to our event graph, and I'll get rid of all these. And we're just going to create a custom event. And we're going to name it open door. Now from there we want to add a flip-flop node. And we'll just drag off from A here and type in add timeline. And I'm just going to name that open door. And then we want to take our B and we'll reverse from end. And we'll take our A here and just go ahead and put it into play from start. Now we want to open up the timeline by double clicking on it. We want to add a track, and we'll make that a float track. And we'll just name that alpha. We'll go over here to our length and we'll just make it 1. For 1 second. Down here on our graph, if you hold the shift key and click, it puts a point. We want to do that twice to add 2 points. We'll select the first point and make sure we put a 0 for the time and a 0 for the value. click our second point, and we want a 1 for the time for 1 second, and we want our value to be 1. Now you see it goes off the line goes off the graph here. So if we just clamp it by clicking these 2 clamps, we can see the whole graph. So we are good in there. Let's come back to our event graph. And from our alpha pin on our timeline, we want to drag off and we want to add a lerp node. Float lerp node. We want to drag the alpha down here to the alpha pin. And then if you hold Alt and click on this pin, it'll break that connection. Now in the lerp node, we want our alpha to be 0. We want our B to be 90. And basically that will be how far the door will open. Now we want to come off of our update here, and we want to set relative rotation of our door. And now we don't want to rotate the door on the X, Y, and Z axes. So we will right click new rotation, and we will split the struct pin. And we'll just connect the return value of our lerp node into the Z axis. And that is all we need for our custom event, for our open door. So we will compile and save that. Now let's go into our content drawer and open up our character blueprint. Find some empty space. And we're just going to add our E key event. Now on pressed, we want to line trace by channel. We want to drag in our first person camera. And this is for our line trace so we can interact with the door. From our first person camera, we want to get world location and just connect that to your start pin on your line trace node. Now again, from first person camera, let's drag off and get world rotation. We're gonna need a little more room here. Now from here we want to get forward vector. And now we want to drag off of that and multiply. From the bottom pin on our multiply node, we want a 2 float. And right here we want to vector float. And we're going to make that 500. And that's basically how long your line trace is going to be. Now we can right click here and add an add node, your operator add node here. We'll just drag this get world location to the top of the add pin, drag our multiply to the bottom of the add pin, drag from the add pin, and we'll just put that to the end pin on our line trace by channel. Now for debug purposes, we will make our draw debug type for duration. And we'll just do 1 second. That'll basically show us our line trace on the screen for 1 second. Now from our out hit, we want to break the hit result. And we're going to need to lower our drop down here. And from hit actor, we want actor has tag. And that tag, we want it to be the exact same as the tag we put for our door. So we just wrote door. Now it is case sensitive. It has to be exactly the same. So make sure you either type it in exactly the same, or you can also go to your door blueprint, go to your tag in your details panel, copy it, come back to your blueprint here and paste it. You could do that too. That ensures that it's exactly the same. Now we want to drag off of our return value and put a branch here. Now from the true, we want to cast to our door blueprint. And now we also want to take from the hit actor pin and drag it up to object for the BP door. And now from the top execution pin on our cast, we want to call our open door custom event. And the target will be the as BP door pin from our cast. And we will compile and save that. Let's go to our map, go to our content drawer, find your door blueprint. We'll just drag it out here in front of us, and we will play. And you can see here when I press E, you can see that line trace. And it can be on there for as long as you put. Come to our door, press E, and it opens. Press E again, it closes. And you can see how it turns green when it hits something that is interactable with how we have it set up. Now I have it set to 90, so it opens this way. You can set it for -90 and it'll open the other way, or you could rotate the door around the other way, however you wish. You could have it set to 130, you could have it set to 10 if it's a door that you just want to be able to peek through. So you can set it up however you need, just with this simple setup here. Now I do want to apologize, I did make a mistake on that last part. Even though it still worked, you will need to put another branch between your line trace by channel node and your other branch node that you have there. And we need to connect this return value there. And that is it for our simple door system tutorial. Comment down below if you want to see me expand on this in any way, and tell me what you want to see next. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.